Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? This add to the Convo. At Convo, you need to hear a podcast. We're back again for the 6th episode. That means 6 weeks to add to the Convo. I know it's a great thing, right? We got a really impactful person right here from the Philadelphia area, just like me. He's an entrepreneur, author, especially when it comes to event space, Airbnb, rentals, exotic car rentals. Hit him up for everything. We got the Wolf in the building.
What's going on? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
I'm doing good. I'm just here to add to the convo.
Exactly, man. And I tell people, like, add to the convo, like, it's short for add to the conversation. So, like, anything you do in life, even when it comes to becoming a best-selling author, when it comes to best-selling author, especially black authors.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, who else should they talk about in the convo?
No, that's a fact. No, I like that. Yeah, being able to just insert myself into those discussions as a staple.
As a staple. And then, coming from, like, inner cities and all that, what part of Philadelphia are you from?
Logan, originally.
Logan?
Yeah, but it's been so long since I've been down my neighborhood. But yeah, I'm originally from Logan, but I just from Philly at this point. That's how I look at it. Like I just be moving all around.
Exactly. So from like when you was younger until now, you know how people say back when you was younger, oh yeah, I'm from Philly, I'm from Philly. How you think the narrative changed?
Like as far as like how people view the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I was younger, like it used to be more of like people used to idolize us and like, copy us, and we kind of had our own identity. Like people, you was from Philly, people wanted to fuck with you. They wanted to, you know what I mean? They wanted to know you, and a lot of our trends was like being popularized based on what we did. Now I feel like we kind of lost our identity a little bit, but it shouldn't be nothing to get it back. It's just about understanding like we are a very trend-setting city. So like we got like a lot of stuff don't get big until it make it to Philly. So like for instance, if some shit popping off. And not to take away from New York, because New York is a major market, but if something going down in New York and it's popping in New York, if it hit Philly, it's likely to take because our city is such a trendsetter city and we maximize everything to where though, like if we talking like other cities are taking their lingo, taking their swag, all we doing is making their cities more lit when we could be doing that shit for ourselves.
And you think about like the history of like Philadelphia.
Right.
In each industry, we got so much representation.
100%.
Especially like, exactly, and even when it comes to like the music, right? Yeah. We got people that ain't even talk about like Eve. Yeah. Beanie Siegel. Pound for pound, one of the best MCs in the last 25 years. And stuff like that.
Shit, Jill Scott, The Roots, like other people that like touch other genres of music, and we got a lot of movers and shakers that's like not even artists, but that's on the music scene that's like pushing a lot of buttons. So Philly culture is crazy. It's just about like adding to it and doing what we could do to maintain that Philly identity.
Exactly. And speaking of music, you used to be a rapper.
Yeah,
and
sure.
all that. Yeah. Do you still like practice with it, or you're just on to something else now?
I feel like I'm a writer, so like once you learn how to do something, I was doing music for so many years, I could never not know how to rap. But as far as in being a rapper or like even a lifestyle, nah. But if I tell myself if I want to do a song, I'll do a song. Like I'm not eliminating that from like something that because it's a part of my arsenal. It's something I'm good at. So if I ever want to do a record, I'll do a record. If I want to drop a tape, I'll drop a tape. But I would never be a rapper again. Like I'm definitely on to something bigger and better. I took my platform and I took it in another direction and
build from it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I personally know you from Undefined.
Undefined
and all that.
For sure. I'm actually thinking about getting back in the film. I'm never thinking about it. I'm going to. I just don't know when. So I don't know what. But I got some stuff coming for 2022. I got a lot of ideas. But film is definitely at the top of the list, though, for sure.
Yeah, cause everybody know Philly was like from like 2013. You got Dame Dollar with the bed.
Shit, they even go back. They was doing that shit even before 2013. Like they was on that. Like when they was doing the Asia Star stuff. Like I'm talking about that was like 09. Like people been around for a minute.
You got Ryan All-Star and all them Toy Cops.
Yep.
Especially can't forget Peanut.
He was one of the biggest pioneers of like the film. Like it's crazy because like even when we did Undefined and we started to get buzz, we had the opportunity to get Peanut on there, and that was heavy because we was huge fans of his show. Yeah. So he came in and did our joint. We had an all-star cast. Like when I did Undefined, it wasn't that hadn't been done. Like everybody that like I'm not gonna so. Yeah, we know Dame and them was doing what they was doing with the bid and all that. And they had an all-star cast, but it was more centered around like it was like a Southwest thing. You know what I'm saying? What I did was I had Tiz, I had Mir, I had Funniest in Philly, Princess Anne, Michi Hill. These are people from all over the city. Exactly. We created an all-star cast, and when we did it, people wasn't who they was today at the time. So it's like undefined, leverage that platform for people to be able to grow and develop from. So just being able to add to be a part of Philly history in that way from a film standpoint after watching so many other great people do it. I don't know, it's just amazing to me to look back at like, damn, undefined was really that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And then like even when it comes to like say like we can go back into like the 90s. You know, I was born in 2000.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man. The 2000s, the Generation Z.
For real. And then like you can just go back to like Living Color. That was a show you can say you compare that to.
100%.
Like, when it comes to like different
Even
personalities.
all that though. Even the show on Nickelodeon. Remember all that with Kenan and Kel and Nick Cannon and all of them like people that grew to be something. Like the shows like that was crazy too. But yeah, Living Color was definitely one of them. Because who they had? Jamie Foxx in there, right?
Yeah.
Who else? Damn, Living Color. I can't even think, but yeah, I know they had an all-star cast though.
Yeah, and then like even like I respect like the full grind of like independent creators and Philly, like Funny Boy Quill.
Oh yeah.
Even Tiz. Tiz. I know this Tiz, like even though like Tiz, he do like the skits, but like you can tell right now, even when it comes to like his marketing tactics, like advertisement.
Tiz a genius, bro.
He
like,
really, you can tell he really do sketch what he do. It's not like
he's really a writer. Like
exactly.
He's an excellent writer, and his creative mind is different. Like I'm a creator, I'm a writer. Me and Tiz did a lot of work together, and like he a genius. Like I'm a genius, and he a genius. So like the stuff like you said, he do the skits and stuff. To be able to be that consistent for such a long time, and then he got films and stuff out too. I don't know if you know, like he be writing. Like he got a couple films that he did. So I don't know. I don't know. He know he got my respect. I tip my hat to him. That's when it comes down to that pen and that marketing, that creative. Like yeah, for sure.
And then like just like say because me with my own clothing brand, right? Like I feel like if you're a business owner, any like industry you in, if you show that you put like your heart and soul, like your sweat into it, people are going to be more, like I say, not say hungry, but more eager to spend their money with you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like you're not just putting something on the shirt. You're not just putting like stop sign something on the shirt and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's like sure. it can be like a wrinkle shirt. Like you got like the quality. And all.
Yeah, because people gonna buy into you first. When you start your brand from you, then you are the biggest reflection of your brand. So the energy you give it is gonna be what's reciprocated. Ain't nobody gonna be looking like how would you feel like, oh yeah, I sell waters, but they don't even got no logo. Exactly. They're like, you ain't even serious about it. But they got the brand and all and type, and they really serious about how they present it. Now we know we took the logos off here for marketing purposes, but if this was something you were selling, you would definitely want to have your logo on. Like how you wearing your brand on the podcast. That's smart. So that's something that's like taking an initiative. Like, all right, you know what? This joint might get seen. I want people to understand that. Every time I'm stepping out, I'm going to rock my brand so I can create more awareness to it. So yeah, for sure. But if you wasn't doing it, then it's like, how I'm gonna take you serious and you don't take you serious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not just like doing it for like I want this to be like a big part of my income. For sure. But I'm not just doing it to do it because it takes time, money, and like really well thought out to have start your own business and all that.
When we was doing the RNO shirts, like I started selling shirts in like 2012. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we were going crazy with it, and it was like this was at the time when you could just get away with putting your logo on a shirt and selling because nobody was doing it, and people just wanted to be supportive. Yo, we sold thousands of RNO shirts. Like I'm talking about, like I was paying bills from selling shirts, and it just like hitting the people that was close to me, hitting people that I didn't know. Because when you got something that like has a message to it, like when you say add to the convo, it don't make somebody feel like they are representing something that's like too personal. It's like this is just like this could be a global brand. Like you said, you add to the convo, whatever you add to the convo about sports. If a young boy about to go D1 and he from the city or from somewhere else, he add to the convo. So that concept in itself allows you the opportunity to be able to stretch it and you can be able to make it what you're trying to make it. Yeah,
and that's like the whole goal of it. And like I just like because my first one to start my brand, it was supposed to be called World Renown. But then it was already like a clothing brand in like Florida. You know, you about to make an Instagram name.
You Google, you look it up.
Exactly, and it was like already in Florida, but it wasn't like trademark. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna make my own thing. So when we get up to this height, I don't want to have nobody saying, "Oh, you stole my idea," and all that. So just like leveling up the footprint, and I'm just trying to create like a big foundation, a nice foundation.
That's what's up.
You know that, and like moving slowly. Like, I mean, like Rick Ross said, don't move fast, move correctly.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. So that was the main rule.
Taking your time. But then another thing, even when you think about like it's crazy, you said world renowned. That's like I want to be a world renowned author. That's the goal, to be like a world renowned author. So it's like everything I'm doing is like I want to go down as one of the greatest thinkers. Like none of the work I did, I don't want it to go unnoticed. Like even if it wasn't noticed at the time it was done, but by the time it come up, I want people to be like, hey, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that, he was a staple here, he did this, he did that. Dang, like this, damn, like that's what when we talk about being world renowned, it's like, damn, you're known for everything across the world. I just want to be a global brand, respected, and for the way I think. Like when you think about my book and being able to heal people's mindsets and change their perspective on things and being able to grow in that regard is like, that's the objective. Like I want to, when I die, it has to be about everything I left behind for people to still benefit from. Yeah. And I want to, while I'm here, I want to tap into as many people as possible so that I can carry that title of being world renowned. Like I want to be a world renowned public speaker, a world renowned author. So crazy you said that because like, that's literally like on my goal list, like world renowned public figure.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and also like the reason I really wanted to interview and have like sit down with you because I feel like I've been following you for a long time to where I witnessed, I gotta say, the rebrand from being a musician to being an author. Yeah, you don't really see that in a lot of like instances and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like
not
that.
at all.
Like you see people, artists like selling books, but like you can tell you really wrote your joint.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's really detailed and stuff like that. And like when you read the book, as y'all should go get it, it's available on Amazon as well.
Everywhere, yeah, for sure.
Everywhere. You can tell like if you follow on Instagram the way you talk, you can see your wordplay and also your mindset when it comes to like the arguments with different females on the gram, talking about different topics and stuff like that.
I wrote every word in my book. I edited every word. I didn't have a lick of help. I mean, writing is my thing. I'm really a writer. So like I wrote all the scripts we did undefined. I did like that's what I wrote all my raps. That's what I do. But as far as the rebranding, it was one of them things where like we see a lot of artists come and go. Yeah. And like for me, I always knew that like I never like I love music. Don't get me wrong. I still love music, but I never felt like I was stuck in just doing music. So if all else fell, I knew I was gonna figure it out. Like it was not like something like what I'm gonna do next. It was like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I couldn't tell you I was gonna become an author the day after I stopped rapping. Yeah. I actually went on like a 2-3 year hiatus because I stopped rapping in 2017 officially. 2016 but 2017 officially. And I didn't put my book out till 2020. So in between that gap, I was really just starting businesses and helping people. Like I was working with artists, I was helping them get their shit off because I look at it like if I got all these resources and I'm not gonna do nothing with it, doesn't mean I can't help you. And that just be my whole thing. It's about being a staple or just being available for a resource for somebody else. Like it's like people, what I'm gonna do? Take them to the grave with me? What I'm gonna do? Like what am I gonna do if I no longer rap? But I know an artist that's trying to make it, and I know contacts that can help them get there. Like, why not? And that just been my whole objective. So when I rebranded myself, it was more so just like an elevated version. I'm like, yeah, this was Nasty Now, and this is all the stuff he did. But Wolf, he had this level. Like this is like Nasty Now was like standing on this, and he was in the streets, and this was his principles. And it's like, okay, Wolf is an elevated version of that. It's like when you look at freaking Jay-Z becoming whole and like elevating himself from being a musician to a mogul. I look at myself in the same way, like trying to become a mogul. So I'm on pace to.
Exactly, and then like what you just said, like we're coming like provide opportunities. So like say God forbid one of us is not here, we can say like people can like live on. We can live, our name can live on with the opportunities we have. Yeah. You think about it like this, right? Talk about like a person like Jay-Z, right? How long Instagram been up? Last 10, 12 years?
At least like 12, 13. Yeah. Let's talk about 2010, maybe 2011.
No social medias, right? But like his name, he one of the most popular names. Why are you making a video, a comment, liking somebody's joint?
He got the culture in the head, like
for real. So
he got the culture in the head, like you know what I mean? He's smart. He's a smart man. He's a genius. He's a very, very smart man.
So like my whole thing with that, that's why I respect the grind. Like I'm trying to go up to my highest height when it comes to like how I say, when it comes to like talking more authors. Yeah. I mean I can say this might be bridging the gap. Yeah. Some authors might not even be comfortable coming on podcasts because you know how they say podcast is depicted and how they describe things. Like they might say it's like naturally drama. Yeah. You know, especially like from Philadelphia. You know.
I don't know. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I don't really. I'm about to be working on a few podcasts, but like I look at it like for me it's like I'm not gonna entertain certain conversations. So like the podcast is just a conversation. Yeah. So it's like if I go on the podcast and the platform is kind of like depicting in a way that I don't really want to be involved with, I just would just neglect to do that one. But or I just won't entertain some aspects of the conversation and I'll still provide the value that I can provide. But I don't know. I don't really buy into the narrative. See, we create our own narratives because people gonna see the world the way they see the world based on the lens in which their perspective is like giving them. So it's like this, and we all looking through the lens of a camera. We're gonna all see something different. So that's how people look at the world. So if their narrative on podcasts is drama, they gotta internalize that and say, well, what am I clicking? I must be clicking drama-filled podcasts because I watch Jay Shetty podcast is a healing podcast. Like, they talking about spirituality, growth, you know, and different things like that. So it's like my perspective. I don't really get into the podcast that's like trendy and you know that's not really my thing. My thing is more so like I like Lewis Howes. Like how can like somebody that's going to have deep conversations that I can learn from.
Something really has a purpose.
Has a purpose, yeah. Like we ain't just. I don't want to have no meaningless conversations. Like I don't want to go. I'm not. That's not what I'm into. So it's like if I was sitting here talking about trending topics and gossip, that wouldn't interest me. That's for somebody that's more into that. I'm more so into the aspect of helping people heal and broaden their perspective. You know what I mean? Grow as people. If I'm gonna provide you opportunity, it's gonna be to make you better. Because people giving opportunities. Some people giving people opportunities to go directly to jail. By giving them drugs, giving them guns, putting them in them type of predicaments, I'm giving them opportunities to get away from that. So it's just about understanding that it's always going to be two sides to the spectrum. So yeah, it's going to be somebody that's saying podcast is negative, and you know, or it's going to be somebody out here like, no, it's positive, but that's going to come down to the person and what they clicking. So if your objective is to enlighten people, and you might have some episodes where you might want to entertain, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just got to get the guest that's with that. Get the person on here that's cool with that. You like. You know what I mean? You don't never want to misread the audience and then be like, all right, I brought somebody over here that wanted to be serious and I wanted to talk about some biz stuff.
Yep.
So, you know, that's just a little tip from me.
And also I think it comes down to like the worth.
For sure.
Your worth is a person. And then like when it comes to like crews, like now, like me being 21.
You 21, that's what's up. You're young.
Me being 21, I just like, from high school, I had like a lot of friends. Like, now we ain't the same dude.
Yeah.
First guy that's a co-host on this podcast too.
Yeah.
And it's just like we got like a certain goal.
Yeah.
I mean, making our own detail / tent company and all that.
Yeah.
Even though I do clothes, he trying to do real estate.
Yeah.
We still trying to
come together.
Yeah, come together, do something as one.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope. I think that's what's up.
And then we not like we just want to separate ourselves from the older guys we used to hang out with, because they like mostly the like actions they was doing was more like going towards like destruction.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
100%. It's good that you're able to spot that at your age, because like you in a very fertile time in your life where like you're like this is an important time for you to plant certain seeds. Yeah. I would just tell you like take your time, like you know what I mean, like don't think you're supposed to have it figured out at 22.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like I was just your age not too long ago. Like I'm still in my 20s. I'm still young, but the older I get, the younger I feel. The wilder I grow. Okay. So it's like at 21, you're young and you're ambitious, and you got like a million things you want to do. And shit, by all means, do all of them because you're in your trial and error phase. Especially if you ain't got too much responsibility, you capitalize on that. But you know, as men, we gotta always prepare ourselves to be able to handle responsibilities because that's the goal. That's what we're working towards. But the whole objective is to not get lost in translation of when it has to happen. So y'all got things that y'all want to do, and you and your homie might be trying to do that shit in 6 months, but like it might not be the time for it to happen. So it just don't deviate from it. Don't lose. It just understanding that even like you might be working on it's crazy, man. When I was 20, a dude I was rapping. I had just started rapping. I was 19, matter of fact. I was 19. I had just started rapping, and I was recording in my homie back room, was whatever. So a rapper, he wasn't a big rapper. He was just a nigga that was rapping. That was going to record here too. He was like, yeah, man. Yeah, I got my 5-year plan. So me and all my friends like, 5 years? What? We about to be on in 6 months. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He ain't say nothing. He just like, yeah, like man, my 5 years. By this year I'm trying to do. By this year I'm trying to do that. So no books, no BS. 6 months like later, like I'm popping, like R&O movement is going, like cause I'm gonna go hard, so I'm going crazy. Like I'm using my art. I had a buzz before I was a rapper. It ain't like my buzz came from rap. I was already known in Philly from throwing parties. Like it just the rap just. This ain't my first rebrand. Everybody that knew me since we was kids watched me rebrand each level, and it's never gonna stop because that's just the.
So it's different phases of the wolf.
For sure. But like that's why like when I work on this memoir, it's gonna be crazy because a lot of people don't even know where it really started, how it elevated. Like you got hip to me. And maybe your teenage years when I'm already nasty. Now I'm already R&O, but I already been popping for 6-7 years before that.
I was like I'm gonna say like 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, so we talking, and you 21 now, so we talking almost 8 years ago, 9 years ago. But getting back on it, he said he got a 5-year plan, like 6 months. So 6 months later, we popping. Like, so we on pace. Like, I'm talking about like the movement going, everything going, we getting all the support. Then we ran into a wall. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I was getting funded by my old head that was, you know, in the activity that could get you in trouble. They ended up going into the feds. Everything went down. It was like, oh shit, like. What everybody else like? What they gonna do? How they gonna survive? Like them always just paying for everything. But my mentor just said it to me the other day. Your ambition is your cash out. I'm ambitious, so I knew I was gonna figure it out. All right, so what I do? I rebrand myself. All right, we ain't gonna be a street thing. We gonna go to college now. All right, boom, man, I love college now. undefined. Now I'm taking it from this time because you catching that undefined, so you catch it when I'm already did my first R&O rebrand.
Yeah.
But I say that to say that's 2-3 years that went past on this 6-month plan.
Okay.
But we making progress. So the goal is to make progress. So you want to be like, all right, I'm gonna make progress in the next 6 months. I ain't trying to have it be the biggest business in the world or be the biggest brand in the world, but I at least want to be bigger than where I'm at today. If I had Wolf on there in December, then by March I'm trying to have this person on there. I'm trying to add this amount of views. You got to make sure that you're being, because this is the only way you can stay the course. If you just looking at it like, oh, I just want to get on. If I'm like, yeah, show me what you want to do. I'm just trying to get on. I just want to be big. It's like, that's too general. You got to specify. Like,
you got to have like an end goal.
You gotta know exactly what you want. Listen, I want 2,000 views on this episode, and you don't stop until you get it. Yeah. You're like, all right, I want to have 10 episodes of this type of people. You don't stop till you get it. Like, you got to be intentional and like be super duper specific, because the more specific you can get in what you're trying to manifest, the easier it will be to come. Like, if you just got this overall general goal and you're like, yeah, man, we trying to do this, we trying to do that. He trying to go into real estate. How many cribs do you want? Y'all trying to do a 10 shot. Where you want it at? You feel what I'm saying? What type of clientele you want? You want a 10 high-end cars or the everyday affordable car for the person that's from your neighborhood? These are the questions that need to be answered. So when you're doing it, each day you're getting closer and closer to your goal, and you're doing it in a way that's gonna stop you from making mistakes that I had to make. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And also, like with a clothing brand, to realize, like, you know, we first come out now. You know, if you don't have like a name, how can I say, if the brand's on a household name, and you set your stuff at like a certain price, they'd be like, oh, that's a little bit too pricey. But if it was this brand, it would be different.
But you gotta think they work to get that. Like, that's the benefit in putting the work in. Cause you ain't gonna want to work for 10 years to get something, and then somebody start tomorrow like, yeah, this water is $1,000 water. Yeah. You'll be saying the same, like, what? Why? Okay. Cause they're not the water they paying for, is the brand. This is a cotton hoodie or, you know, polyester the same way as this. Yeah. What changes is this is somebody's brand and this is somebody's brand. Yeah. Her price might be different than yours based on, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it comes down to, because when you're thinking about Louis, anything, Nike, Polo, anything, you're paying for the brand, the logo.
It's basically the wow factor.
You're paying for, because it's social currency. That's what it's called. You're paying for, because when you buy designer stuff, you get looked at differently. People value you differently. They treat you differently. So it's like you're spending actual physical currency to buy social currency. So if your brand ain't providing no type of status, somebody gonna be like, I ain't paying $100 for that hoodie. Yeah. You can feel like it's worth $200 all you want. That is your opinion. To somebody else, they're like, I'm gonna get a girl from wearing this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so just become that brand. Like, all right, I'm about to, you know what? Niggas want to get dressed for the women. I'm about to put my shit on all the cutest chicks. Then I can charge $100 for it. Yeah. Cause he know that this is what the chicks like. You see what I'm saying? So it's just about, when you're thinking about marketing, it's about putting it into a perspective that makes the buyer want to have urge to spend. Like, why should I spend my money with you? Money is an emotional, people have an emotional attachment to money. Yeah. Like, people are very emotional about money. So how can I tap into that emotional side? What can I do to make them feel like I have to have it? Like, my daughter just got a new iPhone 13. She had to have it. I know she did. She been wanting it. That's the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what come down to it. I couldn't come in there with an iPhone 7 and think it was gonna get the same impact.
True.
Because it's outdated.
When it comes to like making this masterpiece right here, cheating is not cheating. What was like your thought process? Where did you go to, like, in your mind, to just say, "Yo, I'm about to make this product"?
I mean, really, I feel like the information was already in there. Like, I didn't. It's just me really just like getting it out on paper, right? The biggest hurdle was sitting still long enough to finish it. Okay. Everything after that was fun. Like, I had fun with the project, so you know what I'm saying. It was one of the things, right? And I went into it like if you can see, you read some of the books, so you know it's like real conversational. I went into it feeling like I was having a conversation with somebody. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna explain this once and for all for the last time, and I'm gonna put it out so millions of people could see it if they want to. You see what I'm saying? Like, and in doing so, I was having fun. Like, each chapter I got done, I just felt closer and closer to my destination. So, you know, it was just like one of the things where it was like I said, I'm a writer, and I kept finding myself having people come to me for a lot of advice. Relationships being like one of the most prominent ones that sticks. I mean, no, it ain't. It is. It's a balance. But in that particular season, I'm a solutionist, and I felt like a lot of people was having relationship problems, and a lot of the problems was common. Like, they was like, yours might have been this, his might have been that, might have been a little bit of detail that might have been different, but the overall gist of it was like the baseline was the same. So I like to help people develop an understanding. I feel like ignorance is the only disease. Yeah. Like, we fear what we don't know. You hate what you don't know. You like everything that you don't understand is something that you are most likely not to fuck with. Like, we not scared of lions, we just don't know their habitat. So that's why we scared. We scared of, I don't know what's going to trigger this lion to attack me. Yeah. Like, this is a wild animal. Like, but if it wasn't called a wild animal, if it was a house pet and you've seen a lion 50 times a fucking month, like if you could see a dog or a cat, you would look at it like a dog or a cat. So I say all that to say a lot of things that people go through be foreign to them. You know what I mean? So it creates that ignorance, which creates people judgment. You know what I mean? And that's where that disease come from. Because like, are you doing this? You doing that? You wrong? You this? You that? But if you can open up people's perspective to create a level of understanding towards though, hey, this might not be. You might not prefer this, but this is also something that exists, and they get it. Then they won't, be as ignorant to it, which could lessen the amount of poison that's being put out, negative energy that's being put out, bad vibes that's being put out. So when I wrote it, it was with all the intentions to create a solution that can provide people with understanding so that they can develop their own perspective on things that don't look familiar to them and not be so, against it. So, you're judging with the title, cheating and not cheating. Like, first thing people gonna do is judge it, like from the rip.
Exactly. You're like, what do you mean? It's
like, I'm not reading that book. He's saying cheating, not cheating. Like, oh wait, he a black man too. Oh, he on some fuck nigga shit. Like, how many times I heard, oh nah, you a black man wrote this. I'm cool. Like, it'd be crazy because they assume that I'm about to be like on some shit like, yeah, niggas could do this and women can't do that. Or,
is that the number one conversation piece when it comes to your book though?
What?
Like the title?
Fuck yeah, I'm tired of talking about the title. Oh my gosh, like. I ain't gonna lie, if I'm being honest, this is one of the things where like just as much as it benefited me, it's kind of a hindrance because before we can even talk about the valuable information that's in there, everybody can't stop at the title. So like it's like one of the things where it's like, damn, well if you're a marketing genius, but I can't say did I put this in a place that's almost like unreachable for people? Cause like some people ain't even, it's so sensitive to them and it's so triggering that they not even gonna read it. I'm like, damn, like, did I psych myself out in this particular situation? I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna write multiple books, so this is gonna be one of the things where somebody's going to double back and to read another one of my bestsellers.
And I go back to like the famous quote. I mean, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Can't. You shouldn't. But they're going to.
Exactly.
They're gonna judge you by your cover. But we should encourage people not to. You know what I mean? Don't judge nothing by its cover because you just, like I always say, don't let 4 words stop you from getting 200 pages of valuable information. You said you're 9 chapters in. Would you feel like you gained some value up to this point?
Yeah, especially when it comes to like the pride. And that's one topic I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, for sure.
This podcast. We didn't talk about nothing else. Me dealing with me graduating high school.
Yeah.
Me working with other grown people, older, and like girls my age, being around girls at like parties and all that. Like I had to learn now that like the old school way of like acting around girls, like being respectful. I could say being respectful. Just being overall trying to be a nice person to be around.
Yeah.
It doesn't always get you where you want to be.
I get what you're
I say that in the sense to where like you might not get the same reaction you want. They might be more going towards being more grittier, being more grimy and meaner, and all that. But I had to realize now that like reading this book, that might not be like how can I say the audience I might want to be around.
Yeah, that's all. I was just about to say that. You just like
I want to be around.
Yeah, that just let you know where you position yourself, because I'm telling you, like women have this feminine energy and it's mad. It's like they're masking it, and it is dying for it to come out. But as men, it's certain things that we have to do to solicit that, to almost make them feel comfortable enough to let that guard down. You know what I mean? It sucks because a lot of the time we be fighting through a wall that we didn't put up. Like we ain't I ain't put this wall up. Why I gotta help you decorate it? Why I gotta help you take this wall down? And this ain't a wall up. But the fact of the matter is, in most cases, we're gonna be paying for the mistakes of other men who wasn't right. So you gotta be patient. You know what I mean? But it's a two-sided sword because they need to be patient with men too because they come into it with a high level of expectation on what a man should be. But it's like, since you ain't even developed yourself fully as a woman yet to be talking about what a man should be. Like maybe if everybody took a step back and developed themselves and become whole and become the best version of yourself, then you will be able to align with the man or the woman that's for you. So for the women is the men, for the men is the women. Like you'll be able to align with that person that aligns with you when you get yourself right. So speaking to it, if you find yourself in a position and your approach is, you should always be you. If you being respectful and a woman would prefer gritty, then that literally is a direct indicator.
That's just not.
She's not. It literally, you don't question it.
Exactly.
You don't say, what do I change about me to be? No. Hello, how you doing? Hola, oh, she speaks Spanish. I don't speak her language. Oh, shit, wrong. Like it's just about that. Just about being able to accept that. And it's okay, that's cool, because there's going to be a nigga out here that's going to be like, yeah, B, and this and that, and she going to like him, and he going, and that's going to be their relationship until they grow out of it.
Yeah, I say that because, like, like right now, like you can say from like 2018 to 2021 now, going to 2022, the word toxic is like the number one thing now when it comes to like relationship. They be like, oh, toxic is sometimes good. What is your thoughts on that?
I think people just, there's a misconception.
Like they find positive and like
they just, for one, there's no love in toxicity, and they think that toxic is fun, but you don't have to attach it to. Yeah. Like, but a lot of people, it's kind of to walk a straight and narrow line is a challenge, and it requires real like work that you have to do. And a lot of people don't want to go to that capacity to do the work. So it's easier to be toxic. Like it's easier to cut class than it is to go to class. Yeah. But cutting class ain't right. So yeah, you have fun. You in the bathroom, you playing cards, you doing stuff but what is it doing for your future? So when they say like, oh yeah, toxic is fun or toxic is good, it's like, well, what is it really doing for your mental health? What is it really doing to your future? And like, is this really the environment that you want to live in and come up in? And because it's easier to do, most people will fall victim to it, but it's stupid. There's no love. Love is not toxic at all. Love is not a negative emotion. Love don't come with pain. Love don't come with anger. Love don't come with envy, jealousy. All that comes from hate. Like toxic is hate. That's not love. Love is prosperous. It's joyful. It's you feeling good and is being overzealous about things. Like love is all these positive emotions. It ain't attached to nothing negative. So when people are like, yeah, love is pain. No, it's not. Hate is pain. Love is not nothing attached to love is negative. So love and toxicity, they can't. It's oil and water. They don't mix. If somebody's toxic and they either lacking love, they don't love you, or they don't love themselves. Or typically it's both.
That's true. And then you come now, like even in high school, you just like hear so many girls say, oh, I like older guys because they're more mature and they treat me better and all that. They guys my own age. I was like this though, like most of the, like I had a few girls, I ain't gonna say their names and all that because that's not my place. They would say, oh, I talked to a guy now, he's 28 and stuff like that. I mean, like that's not really true love for if he's only seeing you when he's getting something in return. When he's really receiving.
I don't think it got nothing to do with the age. I think for an age standpoint, a lot of times, see, like, women are like, they creatures of elevation, right? So, like, they always looking to grow. So, like, what tends to happen is older men tend to be able to offer something that you might not even be able to have even endured yet at your age. Yeah. So, it's like, somebody, you at 21 can't be compared to somebody that's my age. I'm 29. You know what I mean? Because, like, now, not to say you can't be more successful than me, but it's just to say, like, your development, you haven't lived enough years to develop in a certain way, realistically, but that don't mean that it's a fact, but that's just me just speaking, you know what I mean, to that notion. But it comes down to like the way women view it, is just like they looking at it from a sense of being able to learn from somebody, the sense of security, different things like that. And a lot of times, like, if a man ain't good, he not good. So no matter how old he is, he's going to use that to his benefit. So where though, like, he might use that leverage of her feeling cool. Oh, I talked to a man that's older, and he might be doing the same thing you're doing, but that's not really a fair trade. When it's like you only 21 and you doing that, he's 29, he really offering nothing. But for them, it's just the whole concept of just being able to like he's at this phase of his life. It's just he's like it's feeling like they elevate.
It's all about timing.
You know what I mean? And then they naturally grow faster than men. Like it's common. Like I'm 29 and the girls my age date men that's 40. Like when you're younger, I used to be that guy. I'm over here keep dealing with but with the older you get, you realize like women want to be led, and sometimes they don't respect the people that they. It's not impossible, and some people are the same age, but it's just not uncommon for a woman to deal with a man that's older. It's not uncommon for a man want to lead a woman, a man want to introduce a woman to something, a man want to be out in front of the information and all that. So it's like it's not uncommon for a 25-year-old, 26-year-old to date a 21-year-old because now you schooling her, now you bring her up to speed. So it kind of balances itself out in a sense. It's just about each individual and their intention. So if he a bad man or that's a bad woman, it don't matter how old they are, they gonna do what they gonna do because they just bad people.
At the end of the day. And then now, like, that's what really, like, jerking me away. I always talk to girls and all that, but not, like, being forced to be in a relationship. Like, oh, my man's gonna say, oh, we're going to have our girl, get somebody. I would just rather stay alone because, like I say, I guess I wasn't in the right place of mind. Yeah. I don't think I was ready to deal with, like, the girls they was talking to. Yeah. Kind of like to argue for yeah. All that. I like to have conversation. Yeah. Because I'm just not like with the back and forth. Like if we're not gonna grow, if it's like meant to hurt,
yeah, for sure.
I'm not with that.
And if you got at the end of the day, man, you're young. You don't need to be focused on nobody but yourself. You got any children?
No.
All right, so you don't got nothing. Like you can be in a very selfish stage of your life. So if you want to date for the experience. Like true. Date to get to know a woman, like her, love her, whatever. Like everything ain't gotta be looking for your wife in this particular time because what you don't want to do is get into a relationship and then can't offer you're not your best self. You're not playing your best version. So, and it could become a distraction if you're trying to do things that's beneficial and she wants to argue. Now you burnt out. Now you don't, you know what I mean? Now it's negative, now it's toxic. So it's like, be upfront. That's the best thing you can do with a woman, is just be upfront about where you at in your life. Listen, like I like you. You seem like somebody I would like to get to know, but I'm really focused on starting my tent and detailing shop and my podcast. So my time is a little limited, but in between time, I don't know what you got going on, but I like to go out with you. I have conversations, and most of the time they be okay with that because you allow them the opportunity to present themselves in a way that they can feel like they're protecting themselves. But it's when you let them fall head first, and then you ain't there to catch them, and now you look like doing some BS. So just communicate that, and you can meet these girls, and if you know that you ain't trying to be in a relationship, you can be like, listen, I ain't even looking for nothing from you. I'm just trying to be like get to know you. And if however it go, it go. Like let you get to know me. We don't even gotta think that far down the line. So that's just a little tip I can give you.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. And then, any like we about to come to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Right now, end of the interview. I tapped in with him. Had copied the book from Down to Earth dudes, people at Wall Street Entertainment, Down to Earth dudes, individuals, business owners, and I like that y'all. I see through Instagram. I don't know, like the in-depth understanding of our relationship. I can say all close friends, all trying to win together. It's like a real team. And I like it like that too.
Yeah, for sure. Cause I mean, like we come from the mud. Like a lot of the people you see me with, like I was mentoring before I knew what mentoring was. Like I kind of was always like, I was thrusted into a leadership role without even realizing. Like I could look back and reflect, like dang, like God made me go through stuff first. Cause like I ain't never had no example. Like I was the example. Like my friends actually got to learn from my mistakes. I had to make the mistakes, and I'm fortunate enough to still be able to be here. So you see the people around me because we got time in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we dug in. It's like this ain't no met along the way stuff. It's like we can still meet people, but we've been through, like you want to go through that. You want to go through ups and downs, trials and tribulations, because you don't know who until it's time to see who they are. So for me, the people I'm around, the people I'm working with, we've been battle tested. You know what I mean? We done from every level together, from elementary to college to the streets, through entrepreneurship. So I'm fortunate and blessed enough, and it ain't like it was more of us. You know, people will get out the car on the way. People will remove themselves, or sometimes you gotta remove them. You know what I mean? And set your boundaries. But ultimately, like the people I'm with, we all locked in, like as a family. You know what I'm saying? And we just want to be able to be an example of what that look like to anybody. For you, that's 21, and what it could look like by the time you are our age and stuff like that, and being able to lock in with the people you're locked in with, and just always have honor, integrity, and like morals. Yeah. And like we big on that, just being yourself, being real, and just staying in your lane. And you know that's how we was able to make it this far, cause and we know we all we got, and that's how we look at it. Like my list of people, I'll help the world, but my list of people that I think can help me ain't that long, and I'm okay. It's fine, cause like you know God got me when it's all said and done. But just having them in that corner is like, you want that type of team. That's how you win a championship. You can't do it by yourself.
That's true. And at the end of every podcast, we get from 3, 4, 5. We like to say like not like a vision board, but like your 6 month. Like we just talk about the 5-year plan. Yeah. We're in 2021 December. Yeah. 2022 June. Yeah. What would you want to have accomplished?
Second book out. I'm working on a few different podcasts. So I would say like however many weeks. Episodes up to that point, I want to have like an episode per week for each podcast. I think I want. What else I want to do? I know for sure. I got something in the works that I want to put together in regard to building my brand. So I want to be able to execute that. But other than that, bro, I'm gonna be real. This is a recentering and refocus year for me. So like I'm detoxing a lot of stuff. Like I'm actually gonna like center in, and I want to realign myself spiritually. Because I did real good in 2019. 2020, I was huge, widely distracted. 2021, I did nothing to get back to how I was in 2019 spiritually. 2022, that's my focus. And I want to get in a relationship. So in 6 months, you never know what might be in a relationship. All right, it's time. I got my kids. Like it's time for them to. I need them to not only see me treat a woman a certain way, but I need them to see a woman treat me a certain way, so they can have an example. Because we learn from examples. Exactly. So I didn't have the example, but I surely is going to set that for them. So I'm being real intentional about who I date and how I date this year, because I be 30. That's my next birthday, and I got things I'm trying to accomplish. So I don't got no big monetary goal. I make money. I'm thinking about getting myself together spiritually, building my family, getting my second book out, impacting some more people, and that play I'm gonna run to build my brand, that's gonna be something. So I'll tell y'all what it is when I do it, but I won't say it today.
Yeah, man, stay tuned. What you want to say, social medias that they don't know already?
For sure. Add me on Instagram, at WolfWSE, Twitter, at WolfWSE_, Christian Mangle, I don't got Christian Mangle, I'm just go grab my book on Amazon, or thewolfhasspoken.com. Yeah, tap in. Make sure y'all continue to follow this podcast. Continue to allow this man to add to the convo. I salute what you're doing. You got my support whenever. You know what I mean? We locked in. Yeah, the Wolf has spoken.
Yep, add to the convo.